Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a leopard nails tutorial. I will link below the video where I'm wearing this combo. I had to change it unfortunately. But I really like this leopard design. It's probably one of my favourites. It's much easier than it looks, and you can, with a little bit of practice, I could say anybody could get a really good effect. And I will even go through some household objects you can use instead of some nail tools if you've got them. Right, so I've painted with the base with this turquoise colour from Nail Ink. This is in the set, it's in the summer collection from this year. Sorry, I can't remember what it's called, but really I've done this with loads of colourways. Just pick whichever colours you like. The only thing is I like to do the dark spots in a black, but really it's up to you. Then I'm going to do a lighter one in Royal Botanical Gardens. This is Blackout from Maybelline. You need your tin foil, you need something to wipe your nail tools off with. I'm going to use a cotton round, but tissue paper or loo roll is better because it can leave a bit of fluff on, but whatever you got to hand, it doesn't really matter that much. And then some dotting tools. If you didn't want to use dotting tools, you could use, for the larger dots, you could use a pin. I would just put a bit of tape over the sharp point so you don't prick yourself. You want to make sure that, I'm going to zoom in. Okay, you want to make sure, see this one's plastic, but it's not painted. The plastic is green all the way through. Or you want a glass head. Don't get the ones with painted ones that look like have a pearl finish, because the bits of pearl will come off in your paint when you're painting your nails, and you don't want that. And then for the finer dots, you're going to need a much finer pin or a toothpick. But this is actually a embroidery needle that you would use for like cross stitch or something. So not really sharp on the end, it's quite blunt, but it's just very fine. And this will make really small dots. Okay, so there's just some other options, but you could use a toothpick. Just have a rummage. You just want something with a small rounded end, really fine, like a point. But for the pin one, you just want something with that has an end that isn't too large. Sometimes you can get pencils or like sticks you can sharpen in a pencil sharpener. They would be a good option as well. Or like a dowel you could sharpen in a pencil sharpener. That would be a really good option. Okay, so to start with, I've put out a drop of my watercolour. I'm using this nail tool, which has the smallest one on this end and the fourth smallest one in the set on the other end. It's just handy that it's on the opposite ends of the same tool. I've done the darker colour as the base coat, but you don't have to do that. I normally do the lighter colour and the darker colour in the middle of the spots. So we're going to do larger spots, and then there'll be smaller black spots around the outside, which will make the leopard. For the coloured spots, or the contrast coloured spots, which are these ones, you don't want too many, you just want a few, and you want them actually slightly further apart than you'd think, and you want to make sure that the placement is really uneven. So you want some quite far apart from each other, some quite close together, and make sure, like I've said before with patterns, that you do your pattern so it looks like it can go over the edge. And see how I've dotted that as well. It's not perfectly round, it's just splodged on. And how to get this to look its best is to make sure it looks good and splodgy. This line here isn't the light, I just haven't done a quite so good second coat on that bit. I always like to make sure there's one quite close to the middle. Put a little bit more on that one. Do another little one right next to it. So I'm going to keep this really good and splodgy. There. Look this way. I'm going to take that one over the edge of the nail. I think I'm going to go for one more down here. Right, okay. I think that's probably about it. Actually, I'm going to do one little one just in the middle. I think this is just a little bit too big of a gap. There we are. I think I'll make it look a bit better. And I'm just wiping my tool off now. Just clean it off. This is what, I don't know if you can see that fluff there. That's why cotton pads aren't the best for wiping off. But that's it. So onto the black now. The great thing about this design as well is it's not particularly important to wait for the colours to dry before moving on to the next one. You can just kind of just get cracking with it. Oops. Just doing that thing where the brush doesn't stick in to the handle. Obviously, when you're doing it, it's better to do all the nails with one colour before moving on to the next. But if you have to, if you're just doing one nail, or like when I did this, I did like 4 nails. So I did my thumb and my ring fingers, and then I didn't do any more. This polish is getting a bit old now. I know you've probably seen me use this blackout polish from Maybelline a lot, but it's actually, for the price, it's a really good polish. I think these are about £3, but the Maybelline Colour Show ones are actually really good quality. Some of them are a bit hit and miss, but the black is actually really, really good. Okay, so we need the finest point now, and the thing to get your leopard print to look really good is to make sure that how you do the curves around your dot, around the blue dots, is different for each one. So here I'm going to start off with a little dot, and then I'm kind of going to go round, just see how I kind of almost blob it along. You can leave a little gap, that's fine. So yeah, that's one. And then the next one, I'm going to do a completely different kind of thing. I'm going to do maybe a line, and then I might do like a big C shape for the rest of it, and that's it. See? So you're just going to make sure that how you go around, or if you do 2 lines, just change the angles up, change the point where you start, change how you do the dots and things. So I'm going to do a dot, and then like a little bit of a line, and another dot, and just kind of make sure the edges are nice and blobby. And then go around like that, another blob. It's much easier than it looks, because actually you don't want to make a mess, but kind of there's no accuracy needed really at all for this. And this is a really easy design to do on your to do with your non-dominant hand. It's probably one of the easiest ones to do. So see, this one's on the edge. I'm just going to make sure that this looks rounded. I'll put a little bit from the edge there, but on your actual nail, because that'll be going right down into the groove, it doesn't really matter quite so much. And just keep going. Okay, so I've done the spots now. You can see it looks okay, but it doesn't really look like leopard print yet. I'm just going to come to that in a sec. But once you finish and you've got it nice and even, that's like halfway there. It's just need to add in a few dots, and it'll just really bring it to life. So put out a bit more polish because that's getting dried up. my larger nails, I always like to do this, so make sure you get things really cleared off. And I'm going to dip in the polish, and we're just going to do like 2 little curved bits just in a space. Like a little tiny spot that didn't have a different contrast coloured centre. So I only tend to do 1 on each nail. I think if you do loads, it just it adds too much. So yeah, then we're just going to add some dots just where the spaces. Don't try and fill the spaces, try and like if it looks empty, put a spot in, but almost kind of like join them in with the ones you've already done, if you know what I mean. And they can be different sizes, that's not too, it's not really an issue. And as I said before, just make sure they're really uneven, because you want to make, like, it's fine having gaps and having too close together. Just keep going until you think that looks right. To me, I think that looks about right now. I don't want to add too much in. So there you are. Just add a top coat on that. It really does work in any colours you've got. You only need 3 colours to do a really great leopard print. So that's 2 colours of your choice and a black. It looks great in the classic, like with the nudes, with the 2 shades of brown. I really like it with something like a nude base and then something like a dark red like this for the inner part of the spots. That looks really good. A nude with gold in the spots looks really nice as well, or even gold glitter. Just have a play around. I've not seen one of these that doesn't look great, and I did it with bright neon pink for the background, bright orange in the middle of the spots, and last summer, and that looks so great, and I had so many compliments of people. So have a go. It's much easier than it looks, and you saw how quick that was. So there we are. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good day, everybody. Please bear with me with the filming situation for these nail things and for everything else. I have ordered a tripod now, but it hasn't turned up yet. But there we are. Thanks for everyone. Bye.